Hello, Farfetched Reality here, and welcome back to the Arcana. Look at that. Iris, come here often? You should. Let's look at a turn from Sarah. Cute. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Amazing. Okay, so this is where we do stuff here. The Emperor. Chapter 4, The Emperor Day. The Emperor Day. I blinked out for a second there. I'm walking down the black stone path, whipped by wind and rust-colored sand. The thick, dark clouds hanging overhead are heavier than before. I'm dreaming again. Then where's Asara? The unforgiving wind burns my eyes as I search the desolate landscape. Up there, ahead of me, too far ahead to reach, I see my teacher and the lumbering beast. Calling out is useless. I have no voice. They're standing still, side by side, and as I look harder, I see that they have stopped at a fork in the road. One way goes east and the other west. Asara dismounts the creature, placing a hand on its hide. A lingering look, and it turns down the path to the east, disappearing into the tempestuous sea of sand. Asara turns to the path on the west, and I know at once he's going the wrong way. Not that way, not again. His head turns. Even from the impossible distance, I feel our eyes meet. Shit. Jeez, no! He drops his gaze, turns back, and continues down the westward path, fading from my sight. That sucks! No! Ah! I'm calling after him, even as my dream is swallowed by sand. Sunlight tickles my face. I open my eyes with a groan. Oh god, don't tell me I have to use those stupid coin things to get an actual ending. If it does, that sucks. And I won't stand for it, and I'll delete all my videos. I just want a happy ending with Asara. Good morning, Iris. Morning, Iris. I stumble backward in bed. For a moment, I have no idea where I am. Then I remember. The room is so fine. I could only be at the palace. Portia busies herself with the curtains while I get my bearings about me. What a lovely sunrise. Did you sleep well? I hope the dogs didn't wake you last night. Something set them off. They were causing a ruckus. Sniffing around the garden of all places. I was afraid we had an intruder. Wouldn't that just be exactly what we need right now? She laughs, oblivious to my shifty gaze. I didn't find anyone. It's a good thing too, because all I had on hand was a shovel. That could have gotten ugly. Anyway, breakfast will be served shortly. I'll let you freshen up and then we'll head over. By the way, the Countess has requested that you bring your cards with you. I sit up at that, fully awake. Ah, these are for you. Yeah. Fratia sits a neat pile of clothing on the bed beside me. I unfold the top piece, marveling at the way the fabric moves. I hope you don't mind. I have explicit orders to make sure you're not wearing the same thing you were wearing last night. I blink, glancing at my old clothes. They might be looking a little worse for wear. I'll give you some privacy. Katia ducks out the door. I move the silky garments aside and toss back my bed covers. Well, the Countess and Fatia were so kind, but I am going for Sarah. You know, I don't think I'd be comfortable in the new clothes. They might be silky and soft, but this is just an uncomfortable situation here. Like, I know whatever happens, and that the Countess might be like, hey, read my cards or whatever. It's just, I think everything would be better if I wear the old clothes, because I'm in a foreign thing. I turn my back to the pristine pile and pull on my old clothes, bathing in their homely scent. If the Countess wanted a magician with a protege, she could have gone and found one. I won't put on such airs. These people asked me to come, and I came like this. I intend to leave the same. Snatching my bag from the floor, I joined Fatia in the hallway. Ah, you didn't like the outfit, huh? Not your style? Well, suit yourself. Wrapping my familiar shawl around me like armor, I followed Fatia into the dining room. Ah, this music's good. The room is bright, far more welcoming than before. Servants are bustling to and fro. The Countess is already seated when I enter. She appears to be nursing a headache. She spares me a brief glance from beneath the hand cradling her forehead. So pretty! Oh, pretty! Wow, Nadia is very gorgeous, as always. But look at that wrap, look at that dress, look at that jewelry. Gorgeous, my darling. Oh, I might not be coming for you, but I'm still falling for you. Good morning, Iris. I trust that you had a pleasant night's sleep. Well, I had an especially miserable one. The dreams were vivid, enough to frighten me awake, and yet I cannot remember any of them. And then, of course, the dogs were feeling active. Hello, Pratia. Coffee, milady? Ugh, please. A nod, and Pratia goes to a gleaming golden contraption nestled in the far corner. The Countess strokes her temples and lowers her hand from her face. The full force of her gaze falls upon me. Her eyes narrow, and her wavering hand returns to her brow. Pratia, did I not request a change of wardrobe to be provided for our guests? Yes, milady. And if my eyes do not deceive me, those are the same rags from last night. They prefer them, milady. The Countess stares at me as if I'm something she stepped in I can't quite identify. Oh, they prefer the rags, of course. How would I be trying to impose? Naturally, you may clothe yourself in whatever you please. Her fingers curl. Her fingers curl as she forces a placid smile. Sumptuous egg dish is placed before me, drawing my attention. Meanwhile, the blue-feathered servant from last night bustles to the Countess's side to report some going ons. Jeez. I drown out the chatter and focus on my meal, marveling at its delicate texture. And yet, my eyes keep flickering up to the painting on the wall. It feels as though it's watching me. Well, you may tell them that they have no choice in the matter. Will that be all? Will that be all, Your Grace? That will be all. Now then, Iris. The Countess's words shakes me from my thoughts. I understand you have your cards with you. Cautiously, I pull my satchel up from the floor and into my lap. Splendid. Please come closer. The servants promptly relocate me to a seat at the Countess's side. This is the closest we've been since our first meeting. It almost makes me nervous to breathe. First and foremost, in 13 days we'll be celebrating the Count's birthday. Preparations, as you know, are well underway, so I must ask you to be expedient in this. It's not my intention to rush you. By the time the day is out, I will need to know whether you intend to cooperate with me. Unless, perchance, you have decided to do so already. No. The Countess scowls, a twitch in her brow. No, you have not decided. Or no, you will not cooperate. I haven't decided. No, I haven't decided. The Countess closes her eyes. Deepling her fingers. Perfectly understandable. Do take your time. A hesitant ally is of no use to me, and a reluctant one is even worse. Either way, I would like to request another reading. I trust that my fortune will have changed. Her eyes open and her gaze falls pointedly to the bag in my lap. I'm compelled to pull it closer to me, but under the watchful eye of my hostess, I resist. Instead, I retrieve the duct from its hiding spot and place it hesitantly on the table. After all, it's a new day, and I have you now. So she says, but her attentive gaze never leaves the cards. I pick them up and start to shuffle, finding the faint tingling of Asara's magic through my fingertips. Hey, I'm sorry if you hear that weird, very loud sound. Sorry if it's too loud. Just read it, I guess. But My dryer is making that sound and I can't stop it, so kill me. I focus my attention there and let my thoughts fade to silence. Let's see. The last time I got the wizard for her, or was it death? This one. Upside down, the Emperor reversed. And what does he say for me? I peer into the face of the card and I listen. You wear a facade of power, a distraction from how powerless you feel. You need to control the world around you. It's a reflection of the chaos within you. And now you're using your authority to feed your ego and consume those around you in your hunger for dominance. There's a collective silence. No one is daring so much as breath. I hadn't realized the servants were watching. Their faces are stricken. Portia has her hands clasped over her mouth. And yet the Countess looks pleased. She lifts the card from the table and examines it with a curious eye. I see. That is all very presumptuous of him. Chuckling, she rises. The servants quiver in anticipation. I should like to invite you to stroll. I trust you have no other engagements. There's something I would like to show you. She breezes past me to the door. I gather my cards and return them to my bag, slinging it over my shoulder. Once I have fallen in step with her, the Countess turns to me with a smile. You will be pleased, I think. Then again, you are more of a mystery than I expected. Portia, coming. We exit the hall, leaving the still silent room behind us. The Countess' steps are effortlessly swift. It takes some effort to keep her pace. Jeez. I don't pay much attention to my surroundings until they start looking familiar. Our path leads us past the marble staircase. I find myself searching the stairs as we pass. No dogs this time, or perhaps they are curled up in the shadows, out of sight. The Countess notices my shift in attention and smiles sweetly. If you're looking for the hounds, they will be having their morning meal about now. You seem to have a kinship with animals. In fact, Portia tells me you were rather enchanted with one of our security eels. I find them rather enchanting as well, though they're quite unhappy here. Their native climate is deep in the south. Icy, dark waters. I recall the way the creatures under the bridge would twist themselves into the mud. Well then, we're here now. Here we are. Jeez, I can't talk right now. The Countess comes to a halt. We have arrived before a panel in the wall, 3 by 4 times my height. It is crafted of smooth wood in all the colors of rippling honey. Carved with dizzying intricacy is a great tree in the height of maturity. Its winding roots curling around each other and into the floor. Its leaves and fruits are inlaid with jewels, precious stones, and mother of pearl. Jeez. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of sick. 1 second. I'm back. The panel glitters and glows from every angle. I'm dazzled by its beauty and barely notice that Patia is lurking behind us. I become aware of her presence when she comes to stand beside me. Nervousness is radiating from her in jittery waves. Patia, if you would be so kind. Of course. Patia retrieves a ring of keys from her pocket. There are about a dozen, each carved of the same wood as the panel and each bearing a distinct jewel. One by one she finds their locks in the panel, though I wonder how their locations seem completely random. Each key, the roots of the tree start to unwind from each other, pulling free from the floor. When all the locks have been turned, the panel folds upon itself on either side of a paper fan. The room beyond is revealed and my breath catches in my chest. I suck in a breath, tasting greenery and golden pages. There are books everywhere, books winding up the walls, reaching for the ceiling. A library. Sarah has told me tales about places like this. I've always wanted to see one for myself. Do you read, Iris? I nod. The Countess tempers her surprise. Somehow I suspected you might. I follow her further into the room, and the door closes itself behind us with a rhythmic, mechanical sound. Patia trails at our heels, fidgeting with a ring of keys. It is a great gift to read. Where I come from, it is shared amongst all citizens, regardless of birth. But woefully uncommon here. I suppose you were taught by a relative? Or your master, perhaps? Am I wrong? They say the two of you are very close. Milady is in a teasing mood this morning. Indeed. My headache is lifting. This way, if you please. There are books of all kinds, tall, crisp volumes of mathematics, beside broad leather atlases of faraway places. I have no idea so many books existed, each one with years, maybe lifetimes of wisdom to share. My finger itched to run along their spines, but I resist. Books like these are worth more than anything I could afford to barter. You know, Iris, you are my guest. If you should like to return here, you need only ask. For the moment, the Countess stops before an alcove nestled between the shelves. I would have your undivided attention here. Intrigued, I peer around the bookcase. Below a tiny window, cast in its slim ray of sunlight, is a desk. It is stacked with books, journals, and papers, scrolls tucked into its nooks and drawers. Despite the clutter, everything is carefully organized. Someone's place of study, preserved in time. Iris, do you know why Dr. Denvorok came to the palace? And I suppose you would. After all, your master was here for the same purpose. To concoct a cure for the disease. My blood runs cold. As she asked, I give the Countess my full attention. The disease, the Red Plague, as it is called, swept through the city like a wildfire. It is claimed young and old, frail and strong. There's no way to tell who would be the next to fall. Cases are rare now. I can't remember the last time I saw the telltale red in the whites of someone's eyes. As you know, the Count and I called upon the city, to whomever might be of use in this quest. Physicians, scientists, alchemists, witches, yes, even fortune tellers. All were invited to the palace in hopes that our resources would aid in their research. Whoever was able to find a cure, the city and the palace would both be forever in their debt. Perhaps he was plotting even then, but the doctor accepted our invitation. As did your master Asara. Her gaze shifts to the window. A strange shadow crosses her lovely sunlit face. Curious, I lean in such a way as to get a better view of the window. Odd. It is exactly the right spot to see the willow tree which hangs over the fountain in the garden below. While they toiled away in the search of the cure, the palace provided everything they might need. The Countess rests her hand atop one of the many texts gathering dust. This desk belonged to the good doctor. I have had its contents examined laboriously, but nothing of consequence has been found. But with such a volume of evidence, something may yet be hidden here. Something I may have overlooked. Perhaps you will have better luck than I have found in finding it. Her touch lingers on the cover of the well-worn tome. Well then, good luck, Iris. She draws away, passing me and perfuming the air with jasmine. Pratia follows, and once they've passed the threshold, the panels fold over her and into their original shape. I'm left in silence, alone with the doctor's desk. I can feel that the desk holds secrets, but where to start? At a glance, there's a stack of books, a leather-bound folio, and scrolls tucked away in little rows of drawers. Folio. Loose leaf papers are arranged neatly in one side. They are a little gold with age and thin, almost transparent. Most of them appear to be records, dates, times, and incomprehensible scribbles. But others are drawings. My gaze lingers over these, somewhat surprised to find them. They are miraculously detailed, but have no recognizable forms. It seems odd that they would be here among the doctor's work. Somehow the patterns and shapes look familiar, like I should know them on sight. They almost look like maps? No, that isn't exactly right. I feel as though I've missed the picture while it's plain in front of my eyes. I cast a glance behind me. The air is still, and I'm satisfied that I'm alone. I roll one of the drawings into a tight scroll and stow it in my bag. Books. There are 3 towering stacks of books, one of them Some of them are threadbare in their bindings. Others are rich leather and leaved with gold. I open a well-loved tome and flip through the pages. It appears to be a surgical guide. I note with some discomfort that some of the diagrams are stained with old blood. Though somewhat cartoonish, the illustrations are striking. A few will make my hair rise, but I keep looking for some time. It's to satisfy my own bestial curiosity. And because many of the pages are scrawled over with the doctor's notes. A drawing of a physician using a curled tool to bleed a patient and has a single dark no scribbled beside it. Some of the writing has a distinct quality of frenzy and frustration, but other than that, his handwriting is completely incomprehensible. Indecipherable? I can't make heads or tails of it. That's because he has chicken scratch for writing, because he's a doctor. I unfurl one of the scrolls. The paper is soft, almost powdery to the touch. It is written in the same hurried, fluid scrawl I saw in the doctor's notes. At the bottom of the page, isolated from the dense swath of cursive, is a single letter, J. A signature? If it's signed on the bottom, my suspicions may be correct. The letters appear to be addressed at the top. I narrow my eyes at the scribbles on the page, trying to make a sense of them. Dear sister? Once I've seen the words, I'm fairly sure of them. The letter is addressed, Dear Sister. A sister. Did he have one? As far as I knew, the doctor was a bachelor with no family to speak of. My mouth twists, uncertain of what it is. I jolt at a sudden raunching sound behind me. What? Quickly rewinding the scroll and returning it to its place. Iris. The back wall parts, unfolding to reveal Protea. I hope I didn't startle you. There's something going on by the garden. The Countess is requesting your presence at once. Jeez. Did you find anything interesting? Clues? I shake my head. Nothing I found has given me anything relevant for the Countess. Protea slides up next to me, scanning the desk with a curious eye. Well, it'll take a while to go through everything. You could try again later. She surveys the desk, tidying everywhere I've touched and returning everything to its place. I've got the keys, so you can find me the next time you want to have a look. But for now, let's go see what all the fuss is about. Protea's pace is hurried, far from the spirited step I would normally expect. And she doesn't speak. The longer we walk in silence, the more anxious I become. The garden below is livelier in the day. A sympathy of birdsong echoes from every direction. I spy the Countess looking out over the garden with her hands held sagely behind her back. Forgive me for drawing you away, Iris. I wish not to obstruct your investigation. It just so happens that I was thinking about the fortune you gave me earlier. She turns to face me, her expression mysteriously neutral. Rumor would have it that I dislike fortune tellers. That is not entirely true. I only dislike those that profit by telling their clients whatever they want to hear, or by saying whatever they want to say. She shoots me a pointed look. I am not accusing you. I would nearly suggest that most fortune tellers in this city are fakes. And yet I do feel that you are the genuine oracle, though I cannot explain why. So I have devised a test, more of a game, really. Her face splits into a mischievous smile. I start to doubt that I will like this game. If you win, I will know your worth and question it no further. And if you lose, all the better for you, is it not? I shall dismiss you, and you will never set foot here again. Now then, let us summon your competitors. Protea, would you kindly call the prey? The prey? Oh, the outfits make sense now. Okay. Protea goes to the edge of the balcony. She takes in a long breath and unleashes a piercing whistle. As I move to the balustrade, the Countess falls at my shoulder, peering down at the garden. Gradually, two figures emerge from the shrubbery, shuffling with obvious reluctance. They're just head to toe in fanciful costume. One a rabbit, the other a deer. The game is to hide and hunt, Iris. You will be the hunter. These two will be your prey. You need not to hesitate on their behalf. They have earned their place. You down there. The costume figures jerk to attention. You may remove your mask for the moment. With cautious, awkward movements, the rabbit and deer unfasten the masks from their face. I recognize them at once. The guards from the bridge. So this is their punishment. Milady, this is embarrassing. You are embarrassing. Have you already forgotten how beastly you were to our guest? It is only fitting that you should be dressed as such. The guards drop to a humble knee, cautious of her costumes. Yes, milady. Content, the Countess turns to me, a sympathetic crease in her brow. I do hope it does not trouble you to chase them. They were most unfriendly to you, were they not? They were only trying to protect you. Below, the guards lower their gaze. One is quite red in the face. A flash of anger ignites in the Countess's luminous eyes. No, they were only satisfying their own rampant paranoia, not mine. Their lust for violence and intimidation is mortifying. I shall not excuse it. If possible, the guards shrink even further. I can't help but to pity them. They were worried about you. If they were, they might have consulted me. Instead, they continued to act as they please. However, if it is distasteful to you, I suppose I can devise another punishment. No, milady. No need for that. We're honored to do this. The costumes are very well crafted. Indeed. Fortunate that my husband has such enthusiasm for the arts. Mask yourselves then, we shall continue as planned. If there's no further objections, I'll explain the purposes of our game. This morning at breakfast, I found myself considering the task before us. We seek to find one man in the city of thousands, a city where gossip moves more swiftly as we possibly could. Daunting, but not impossible, fate has already drawn him back to town for us. But for what purpose and for how long? Our window of opportunity may be quite slim. I come to the conclusion that we must not pursue him without knowing exactly where to look. Easier said than done, of course. The doctor's desk may very well hold the key, but how long before we find it? And then I thought perhaps we might use what we have in another way. Perhaps we might use magic. Her gaze rested upon me, gauging my reaction. It is not possible to have that something in that desk holds meaning to the doctor. Something dear to him, an attachment that might linger to this day. Even a single leaf of paper may possess a tether to his soul, so that a magician need only follow it. If that is indeed possible, is your magic refined enough even to do that? I bite my lip. Given that I found what I found in the desk so far, it is very possible. But my magic has never been used for anything like that. I'd be flying blind. If you've never done such a thing before, worry not. You're about to do just that. Each of your prey will be trying to evade you, moving targets as the doctor will be. They will hide wherever they so please. Your goal is to hunt one of them down, one of them to whom I have given a single leaf of paper. Your Emperor card. My heart shudders, my eyes go wide. The Countess returns my indulgent stare with a patient, shameless smile. How dare you, woman? She couldn't have. When did she? This morning, at the reading, she took the card from the table to examine it and never gave it back. This is no bluff. She really gave one of them my Emperor card. Not mine, but ours. Sarah's. Oh, oof. Ugh. I feel a hot flush of panic course through my veins. I may not yet understand it, but his deck is uncommonly powerful. So to lose one of the so-called major arcana? I was so careless. In the Countess's presence, I should not make that mistake again. Well then, do you understand the instructions? It is quite simple. Find the guard, carrying your Emperor before the day is out. As long as you can do this, I'm confident you'll be able to lead me to the doctor's door. She lays a hand on my trembling shoulder and leans to speak softly. Trust your intuition, Iris. I've trusted mine and it led me to you. The Countess glides to the balustrade, folding her arms over her chest. You down there! Yes, my lady? What would you have us do? Run as if captured into your swift and certain death. The guards scrambled to their feet, and in a flash they bolted in opposite directions. Oh my, I do hope that they know I'm not serious about that. And Iris? You may pursue them all at my mark. I implore you not to disappoint me. The sound of beating footfalls is growing further and further away. I swallow hard. Now then, let the game begin. Cursing my fate, I spring into action, dashing down the steps and into the garden. Well, that is where I'm going to leave off, my beautiful folk. So, that was beautiful. Now, I am going to probably die on the inside as I try to get over this sickness. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day or night wherever you are.